first year that I became president, we had to turn around for the first time in the history of the club. We've had windy years, had cold years, and that year we got hit with everything. You know, it was minus 25, it had snowed the night before, so there was fresh snow on the ground. And the wind usually comes from the west, but that year it was coming from the south, and it was blowing across the face. So usually the mountain kind of stops the wind. That year, again, there was no mountain between us and the wind. It was cold and not too bad until we got above timberline. And once we got out of the trees, then it was, oh man, it was miserable. And it was just so dang cold. And that wind, or this fresh snow, made this humidity, you know. So our goggles were just all iced up, you know. I couldn't see where I was going. And I remember thinking, I'm going to either lose some fingers and toes, or I'm going to die today, you know. As president, I was kind of struggling. I was back in the pack, and I thought, I'm just going to go until we get about halfway across the face, and then I'm just going to turn left and go straight down the hill back to timberline. Ted Lindeman, the previous president, was in the front with the new member, you know, and the new member, of course, is leading the group, you know. And I guess Ted at one point just said to Bill, somebody's going to die here today. We need to turn around, you know. So they made the decision to turn around. And I was kind of walking along, and I looked up, I saw people coming towards me, said, thank goodness. I turned around and started walking the other way. There were several older members who didn't want to turn around, you know, and they grumbled, you know, that, oh, we got to keep going, you know, whatever. And the only reason I would have wanted to keep going a little further was it's a more direct route straight down the hill. Because we turned around where we did, we still had to do the switchbacks and walk the distance back to timberline, you know. We were just above the 2 mile to go sign. So I think basically by turning around, we had another 10 miles to go hike out. That was a long day. You know, I think we didn't get back out till after dark. We ended up with about 7 cases of frostbite. So some cheeks, nose, fingers, toes, you know. But yeah, it was a good call. I'm glad those guys turned around. In most climbing conditions, if you don't climb in the middle of a storm, you know, you climb, you wait for good weather, and you maximize your chances for success, right? And so the club kind of goes against the traditional proper way, safe way to climb, really, you know, but by going no matter what on that date. So it's pretty amazing that the group's been able to do it, you know, every year, no matter what.